And I'm going to click on my microphone. You might want to just, when we kind of start to move, you might want to have something comfortable for your knees, possibly. We're going to be doing a little bit into the knees this evening, just at the start, more than anything. So come into your static back press. Taking the first few breaths just to maybe sigh out or blow the air out through the mouth. Nice deep breath in, belly and chest rises. That exhalation breath is almost as if it pulls your back down into the earth. Let gravity do its thing. Let the weight of your own body allow the back body to massage itself, connect into the earth. With every inhalation expanding, and with the exhalation dropping down. We'll miss out the core work that I had planned tonight. I think that's just a bit too much for autumn. We'll do a couple other things instead. Maybe introducing breath with sound if you think that's going to help you in your practice tonight. Or just taking this opportunity to build rhythm into the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose also brings a feeling of calm and grounding to your practice. Breathing out through the mouth can sometimes activate the body a little more. Set your intention for your flow tonight as well. Just tune in now to you, how you feel. Trying to maybe locate those hidden energies. But work with your body, not against it this evening. The breath is always really important in yoga for many different reasons, from pranayama through to meditation. But within the asana practice, it can be a guide giving you energy, filling your body with prana or pranic energy, the subtle energy. When you next breathe in, bring the knees in towards the chest. Gently as you breathe out, squeezing them in towards the belly and the chest. As you breathe in, let them push away slightly. Exhale, pulling in. Maybe taking it into circles, working with the breath, taking the knees around. Just enjoy this little bit of massage into the sacrum, lower back, pelvis area. Sometimes it's nice just to rock side to side. Just do what feels good for you. I sometimes prefer the rotation because I like the kind of movement through either side of the pelvis. Then breathing out, reach the toes up or push the feet up towards the sky. Maybe hold on to the back of your thighs, back of the knees. If you want to have a little core activation or pull into the shoulders, you can reach for the hands, reach for the ankles with the hands or the back of the calf muscle. Just gently. Sometimes it just feels nice across the shoulders if the head comes up towards the knees. You could but imagine your heels pushing up towards the sky. You'll feel a stretch through the calf muscle. Then move it the opposite way, so the toes want to point up towards the sky. Moving, pushing away with the heel, pushing away with the toes, always holding on to the legs. Don't have to work the core that much. Pointing with the toes, noticing how that feels through the front of the feet. Oh my. Push away with the heels and the toes. Bringing the knees back down and towards the chest. I'm going to let my left leg go towards the bottom of the mat, nice and relaxed. And just squeeze the right knee in towards the chest, maybe rocking side to side onto the back. That's wrong. So hold here, bring that left foot back to static press. So back to where we had it with the knee high and the sole of the foot down into the floor. Bring the right ankle on top of the left or behind the left knee. So we're coming to a kind of reclined pigeon or reclined figure four. Reach through for that left leg, pulling the knee in towards the chest, just gently because we're still at our warm-up stage. Maybe feeling the pull through the quad, I can't talk tonight, I'm sorry. Pulling it in, so you feel it through the knee all the way towards the ankle, maybe through the calf muscle. Maybe also a little bit down towards the hamstring and the glutes. Holding here for 3. The more you squeeze it in, the more you'll pull into these areas. If that's too much, let it go away a little for 2. And 1. Let the left sole of the foot come down to the floor. Bring the hands out, bring them overhead into a diamond shape. So diamond means the palms are closer to the crown of the head and the elbows stick out. So the back of the shoulders kind of feel like they're touching down. And we're going to let the sole of the right foot fall over to the left. So the left knee falls to the ground as the right foot that's behind it comes down so that the right knee goes high, taking a gentle twist. Maybe looking in the opposite direction. So the foot, bring your left sole down and then let it fall over to the side so that perfect. Just looking in the opposite direction. That right knee that's at the top, if you want to activate it a little more, you could move the knee, not with your hand, but with the knee itself, pushing it towards the bottom of the mat. Taking a little bit more of a stretch through the hip. Down through the quad towards the knee. If that feels too strong, just let it fall back. For 3. For 2. And 1, we're going to lift up. So almost use the right foot that's on the floor to start lifting up the left knee, bringing yourself back towards center. Unhooking the right foot, squeezing both knees in towards the chest, rocking side to side. This time the right sole of the foot comes down onto the floor, taking the left ankle to the back of the right knee. So we're coming to that figure 4 or reclined pigeon. Then reaching through, interlacing the fingers. It's amazing how different this feels on one side of the body to the other for me. So immediately I can feel this into my quad, down into my hamstring. It just goes to show how we hold tension differently. So don't expect it to feel the same. Holding here. The more you pull the knee in towards you, the greater the lengthening or stretching into that left thigh, maybe into the knee and the ankle. For 3. 2. And 1. Let the right sole of the foot come down onto the floor, taking the hands overhead back into that diamond shape. And then letting the feet fall to the right this time. So the left sole of the foot falls towards the right knee comes down. Maybe twisting to look the opposite way. We're going to be doing a few twists or a few piravaritas tonight, revolved variations of some of our poses. Sorry, I have to yawn there. Working so that we can bring some kind of revolved feeling into the core before we come to our fallen triangle. So working into a little bit of strength into the arms. So we'll work our wrists before we get started. Again, you could almost kind of push that left knee towards the bottom of the mat. Not physically, but just moving the leg itself if you want to feel a bit more in towards the knee and the quad. For 2. And 1 to lift out, maybe bringing the head back to center, lifting the legs up almost as if the left ankle drags the right knee up. Unhooking that foot from the back of the leg, squeezing the knees in towards the chest. Reach the feet up towards the sky. We're going to rock to a seat. So maybe just a couple of gentle movements first. Just see how that feels on the spine, on the back of the body. And then coming towards our seats, maybe hugging the knees when we get there, lengthening through the spine, puffing the chest up, opening through the collarbones, rocking on our sit bone just for a moment, just allowing the liquids of the body just to settle. And then we're going to move to all fours. So we're going to come to tabletop. We're going to work into cat-cow. So you might want to have a pad for your knee maybe, or a blanket, unless you've got bulletproof knees. We're going to do some cat-cow. So I'm going to start with cow. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in, push my tailbone away, or push the hips away, curving into the spine, softening into the elbows, just looking towards the horizon. As I exhale, taking the chin towards the chest, rounding through the spine, tucking the tailbone, pushing down into the floor. Inhaling, moving through the hips first, coming up through the spine towards the head for cow. Pushing away for cat. Inhale, undulate through the spine for cow. Exhale, pushing down into the mat for cat. Just working with your breath for another 3 rounds, so 6 movements in total. Inhaling and exhaling fully through each movement. One more of each and then meeting in neutral. We're going to do some rotations, but we're going to change how we do that on our feet. So flex into your toes. So you're pushing your toes down into the mat, stretching through the soles of the feet. We're going to work into the wrists because we're going to be using them a little tonight. So start to just take some small rotations. You've been to enough of my classes now to know this. You can make it your own, make it a little bit more animalistic if you wish. So deciding if you want to tuck the chin in towards the chest or look towards the top of the mat, changing the feeling in the spine. How deep do you want to take it towards the heels? How far over the wrist do you want to take it? Now, sometimes a good time to introduce mula bandha or root lock. So engagement around the pelvic area, kind of clench lifting. It can make your core a little stronger or hold the body a little tighter, but it can also help to reduce the weight of your body coming over the wrists, a feeling of lightness. Maybe undulating with the ribs side to side. When you're ready, start to take it in the opposite direction. At any point, if your toes or the soles of the feet get sore, you can flatten into the foot if you need to. But otherwise, I want to just bring some awareness into this area before we go to our flow. For me, it makes my knees stick out to the sides. And then just coming back to neutral. We're going to continue to work into the wrists just a little. So turn the fingers inwards so they face in towards each other. Keep more weight in your knees if it starts to hurt into the wrist, so you take the weight off. Just move side to side to begin with, rocking side to side. Then maybe backwards and forwards, noticing how that feels. Then maybe do a few rotations. Just notice it's quite different in the elbow. If you're hypermobile, just make sure you don't lock out in the opposite way through the elbow joints in particular. Moving in the opposite direction just for 3, 2, and 1. Turn the fingers all the way out and back towards the body so they're pointing towards your knees. And again, you can go backwards and forwards, feeling the stretch through the wrist flexors. Just noticing how this feels. Do your hands want to stay down or do they want to lift up as you come back? Maybe working side to side. Again, try not to, if you're, I don't know if anyone is hypermobile, just watching your elbows don't come too far forward. It's me that's hypermobile, unfortunately. So side to side. If you feel up for it, you could maybe reach 1 foot away as if you were coming towards plank. And just kind of move forwards and backwards so you're stretching into the toes and the ankles, into the Achilles heel and into the wrists at the same time. If you feel you've got it in you this evening, you could do both feet at the same time, or you can swap over to the opposite. So doing both is like doing plank, but with your fingers facing back towards you. Back towards neutral. Bringing the hands back around. Leaning into your feet, maybe doing a little toe stretch here if you can. So flex into the toes. See if you can bring your bum back towards your heels, sitting up. We're not going to be here for long. We're just going to move into the wrists. So just circle the wrists, maybe even with the palms facing up. Go in the opposite direction, but have the palms facing down. But just do some movement that feels good here. Martin, that's a nice one to do where you take the hands together and it almost works the same way, but it does it all in one go, which can feel really nice. But really just working into the wrists. Then we're going to take it to downward facing dog. So bring yourself there any which way you like, maybe reaching the hands away, pushing up and over. We're going to walk the dog. So just bring yourself towards that down dog. Adho Mukha. Working into the breath. Just doing what feels nice for you through the shoulders, down the arms and down to the fingers. Maybe letting go of holding the head in a particular position. Let it just be heavy. Looking down towards the toes. Pedal here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding that downward facing dog. Pushing the heels down towards the floor. They may or may not touch. Soften into the knees. Maybe push the hips away a little more. You'll feel a stretch maybe down through the arms, through the chest, maybe even through the armpit area. Again, let the weight of the head drop slightly. Looking at the knees or your toes for 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come to 3-leg dog. So as you inhale, reach the right foot out behind. Try to square into the hips, so push the left heel down towards the floor. You might feel this into the calf muscle. And just hold here for 3, pushing away with the sole of the foot. 2, the leg can be high or not too high. And 1, exhale, bring the right foot down. Inhale, reaching away with the left. Again, try to square into the hips, pushing that right heel down towards the floor, pushing into both hands. So we're nice and straight and long just for this starting point. For 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, left leg comes down. Inhale again, we're over to the right. This time take the right heel over to the left glute, just for 3. It can reach really far, or it can be nice and gentle, taking a little twist. 2, and 1. This time as you exhale, bring the knee up in between your hands. So just taking your time, maybe walking it up, coming down onto that left knee. We're going to rise up into Anjaneyasana, so low lunge. Normally I always say keep really straight or square into the hips, but tonight I'm going to ask you just to take a little weight forward. So the knee kind of wants to come past the ankle slightly. So we're taking a bit more of a stretch through the quad. Sinking forwards. If you want to, I was going to say, if you want to come down, Martin, that's fine. You can stay up if you want. We're going to do a reach back in a moment with the heel, but just working to lengthen through that left quad at the moment. Pelvis drops, reaches forwards for 2, and 1. We're going to exhale, take the hands to the floor. Inhale, head up. Exhale, push back towards Hanumanasana, or your variation of, so hips can come back, toe can reach away. I'll move my hand for a moment. Half splits. Maybe taking it all the way down. You decide. Taking it to your variation. Pull the belly in, lengthen through the spine. Feeling a stretch. Really want to feel it through the calf muscle. And I don't mean feel it as in agony, but just working in some length there. So remember, you can soften the knee if you need to. Inhale as you rise back up. Exhale as we step that right foot back to plank. Lowering down through our first chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, moving to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches away, left heel comes towards the right glute this time. 3-leg dog for 3. You can make it gentle or you can increase the twist. 2, and 1. As you exhale, stepping that left foot forward in between the hands. Coming down onto the right knee this time. I'm keeping my toes flexed. You don't need to. But reach the hands up. Maybe sinking a little this time. So feeling that kind of sink as if you come down and forwards. It starts to pull or lengthen into the quad muscle at the front. They always say don't let your knee go over your ankle in yoga, but actually it's not that it's wrong. It's just, it's a bit of old news. It's not really that bad. In fact, I was reading recently that people who have the ability to take the knee past the ankle actually reduce the chances of ankle injury, because if you never take it past this point, it takes a lot of stress to move it past. So just a little over the ankle. I mean, it's hardly anything at all. I've got pointy knees. We'll just say it's that. For 2 and 1, I think that's long enough. Exhale, bringing the hands to the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, pushing back to your variation of Hanumanasana. Really wanting to just bring some length through the left calf muscle, through the back of the knee, into the hamstring. Sometimes you might want to take the body high. This helps you pull the belly in, almost lengthening into that leg. I'm going quite low, but most of us would be up about here. I've just been practicing this a few times today. For 2. And 1. You're just checking their toes there, Catherine. Coming back to the mat, stepping back as you exhale to plank, lowering down to the floor. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, rolling through the toes, downward facing dog. We're going to pedal here for 2 and 1. Inhale, right foot reaches out. This time just keep it straight. So we're creating some length for 2 and 1. Exhale, knee comes in towards the back chest, letting that right foot come down. This time come down onto the left knee, reaching the hands up for Anjaneyasana. Push the hips back this time, so push them a bit further back, almost coming to, we're coming towards half monkey pose. And see if you can lift that back foot off the floor just a little. Just squeezing the heel if you can. If you need to come down, you can come down and lift it up. But we're just trying to see if you can rise it up just for 3, 2, using the leg strength to squeeze rather than the hand pulling it. Use the leg to hold it there. And 1, as you exhale, bring the foot down, bring your hands down. This time with your hands on the floor, lift the foot up, reach back. As you reach back, this time you're reaching back for the left foot with your right hand, if you can, squeezing it in. This time you're then going to drop the pelvis forward slightly, so you're increasing the stretch through the front of the quad rather than the... If you can't quite touch it, it helps to push your bum back first, then grab onto it, then come forwards. For 3, 2, and 1. I like to push my hips back, slowly let the foot down. It helps on the shape of the knee. Bring both hands to the floor, stepping that right foot back to plank, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here, left leg reaches out behind, reasonably straight, just reaching away for 2. And 1, exhale, knee comes in towards belly and chest, reaching the foot forward. Coming down onto the right knee this time. Reaching the hands up towards the sky. Little bit straighter, seeing if you can squeeze that back leg in towards, so bringing the heel up towards your bum. It might just hover a little. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly as you come down, taking the foot down. This time, leaning forward slightly, lean into that right hand. Push the hips back so that you can reach and grab. So left hand holds the right foot. Once you're there, see if you can come forward slightly. So this is going to pull more into the quad muscle. If you push back first, your leg comes closer to your glutes. Then you start to come forwards. It's almost as if you're trying to lengthen through the chest and the spine. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay, slowly push the hips back. Let the foot come down. We won't be doing that again tonight. We're just working into the area now. We're going to need it later. Lifting up off the right knee, stepping the left foot back to plank. Lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, moving towards downward facing dog. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Work your way to the top of the mat. So step, jump, little walk. Bring the feet up in between your hands. When you get there, take a half lift. Exhale as you fold forwards. rising up to mountain as you breathe in. You could take it slow if you want to ragdoll and work really slowly through the spine, or you can reach the hands up nice and long. Exhale, hands down by your side, Samastitihi. Okay, we're going to work into our flow. Just need to keep an eye on the time. It's already almost 5 to 7. So we're going to go through this in 2 rounds. We're going to start in chair and finish in chair. And on the second run, we're going to see if we can include a fallen triangle, so a kind of twisted plank hold. But we'll set it up in the first one. So we're going to come towards chair. So starting at the top of the mat, bringing the toes together, maybe the thighs squeeze together, but take the weight in towards the heels as if you're coming to take a seat. We're going to do this for 3 breaths. So reach the hands out, pull the belly in. You decide how low you want to take the chair, how tall you want to reach away with the hands. But we're going to be here for 3, 2, and 1. Interlace the fingers, push the palms out and drop to a half chair. So pull the belly button in, push the hands out in front, looking towards the top of the mat. Your bum kind of wants to stick out behind for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Fold forwards. Inhale, half lift here. Exhale, step or jump back towards plank, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Right leg reaches away behind. We're going to come to scorpion dog. So bringing that right heel towards the left glute. Maybe letting it really fall to the side so that we stretch away through the right. For 2, and 1. As you exhale, taking that foot back up through towards the top of the mat. Inhaling here, rising up into Ashta Chandrasana. So reaching up, sinking into the pose for 3, 4, 2, and 1. See if you can step that left foot all the way to the top of the mat, sinking into your chair for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Interlace the fingers, pushing the palms away, lowering to your half chair. Holding here again for 3, 2, and 1. As you exhale, hands come to the floor. Uttasana, forward fold. Half lift as you inhale. Exhale as you step or jump back towards plank, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, moving to downward facing dog for 2, and 1. Inhale, left leg reaches away, scorpion dog on the opposite side. Really letting that left foot fall over to the right. You might even be able to come up onto the fingertips of those left hands. Just brings your balance more over to one side for 2, and 1. Exhale, knee comes back in through center, stepping in between your hands. Inhale as you rise up into Ashta Chandrasana, sinking into the pose for 3. Squeeze the inner thighs together for 2, and 1. Stepping the right foot towards the top of the mat, sinking back down into chair for 3, 4, 2, And one, half chair, interlace the fingers, reaching the hands out in front. Pull the belly in. For 3, for 2. And 1, exhale, hands come to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, half lift of your choice. Exhale, lower down, stepping back through plank, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Then we're going to change it up. For 3, for 2, and 1. Right leg reaches away, just straight this time. So straight 3-leg dog. As you exhale, bring the knee in towards the belly of the chest and stop. Twist a little so that we twist and point the knee to the left. See if we can take the foot to the floor. Lean into your hands, into as if you're doing a plank. So you can come to full fallen triangle if you know it, that's absolutely fine. Or you can join me coming forwards in towards plank, just getting used to the twist. So letting the right hip fall to the floor. Taking the twist here, feeling it in your core for 2. And 1, as you inhale, pull the knee back in towards the belly and the chest. Stepping it back, down at the back of the mat, downward facing dog. For 3. For 2. And 1, inhale, left leg reaches out behind. As you exhale, pull the knee in towards the belly and the chest. Again, twisting this time so the left knee points to the right. See if you can take the foot out, working into your kind of tripod. Then lean in towards a plank and really allow the left hip to fall towards the floor, taking that twist in the core. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pull the knee back towards the chest. Exhale, stepping the foot back down at the back of the mat. For 2. And 1. We're gonna, oh sorry Catherine, I didn't know you went to child's. Inhale here, stepping forwards, both feet towards the top of the mat. I'll give us 5 breaths next time, I promise. Half lift here. Exhale as you fold forwards. Inhale to chair for 1, just to finish. Exhale, Samastitihi. Yeah, we'll do so that we can come to child's pose at the end of the next one. So we're going to do that once more. When we come to our first round of downward facing dog, we're going to see if we can take a twist here. So we're going to see if we can take the right hand and just touch or hold on to the left ankle, looking underneath the left arm for 3, 2, 1. Then we'll take the hand back. We'll take the right foot into our scorpion before we step it forward into Ashta Chandrasana. Just to work in another twist before we come to our final fallen triangle. Okay. Last kind of round, and then we're going to take it down for some juicy shoulder work in our yin practice and a little bit back into the front quads and the knees. So we're going to do chair pose for 3. So inhale, sinking down, reaching the hands up. Chair for 3, 2, 1. Interlace the fingers, come into half chair. Really working into your legs a little tonight. Pushing the bum out, pull the belly button in, reaching the hands out in front for 2. And 1. Exhale, hands come to the floor, forward fold, Uttasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttasana, half lift. Exhale, step or jump your way back towards plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. See if we can find our down dog, then push into the left hand. See if you can pull the right hand in towards the body, then reach it back as if to hold on to the left shin or the left ankle. Look towards or under the left armpit for 3. Pull the core in, push into the foundation, 2. And 1, bringing that right hand back as you exhale. Inhale, right leg reaches up, coming towards right heel, left glute for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, taking that right foot all the way through in between your hands. Inhale as you rise up into your crescent lunge, reaching the hands up, sinking into both knees for 3. Breathing nice and deep, 2. And 1, stepping that left foot towards the top of the mat, sinking back down into chair for 3, for 2, and 1. Interlace the fingers, push the palms out in front, pull the belly in, push the bum away for 3. Half chair, 2. And 1. Exhale as you fold forwards, Uttasana. Inhale, half lift of your choice. Exhale, step or jump back to plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Squaring into the feet, holding down dog, then reaching with the left hand, pull the belly in, reaching the left hand for the right leg. Looking underneath the right shoulder, underneath the right armpit. Push down into that right hand. Pull the core in, strong in the foundation of the feet for another 2. And 1. Exhale, bringing the left hand back. Inhale, left leg reaches out this time, left heel, right glutes. Letting that foot fall to the other side if you really want to feel a twist. For 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, left knee comes through center, stepping up in between the hands. Inhale as you rise up. Take it slow. Exhale as you sink into the knees a little for 3, and 2, and 1. We're stepping that right foot forward, sinking into our chair pose. Last round for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, interlace the fingers, half chair. Nearly went all the way to the floor. For 3. Squeezing in, pushing the bum away. 2. Exhaling on 1. Uttasana, hands to the floor. Inhale for a half lift if your choice. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, moving to downward facing dog, just a normal down dog for 3 breaths. 2, and 1. Inhale, right leg reaches away, 3-leg dog, but just a straight leg. For 2, and 1. Exhale, pulling the knee in towards the belly and the chest, twisting that right knee, that whole right side of the body towards the left, reaching the foot out, letting the left heel touch down so you create a tripod almost. Lean into or push down into the right hand as you reach the left hand up to the sky. For 3. Fallen triangle. 2, and 1. Left hand comes down to the floor as you exhale. Inhale, pulling the right knee back in towards the body, stepping it down, downward facing dog. Breathing here, you're almost there, doing really great. For 2, and 1. Inhale, left leg reaches out, 3-leg dog. Nice and straight for 2, And one, working as you exhale to pull the knee in towards the belly and the chest, pointing the knee towards the right this time, twisting through the core, reaching the foot under the body, letting the right heel kind of come down onto the floor so you create a tripod as you lean into the left arm, reaching the right hand up to the sky. Really good. Pulling the core in for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, the right hand comes down. Inhale, pull the knee in towards the belly and the chest. Exhale it back to down dog. Come down onto your knees. Let's go for child's pose. Knees can be wide. Hands, forehead, forearms, letting them come down, melting into the floor. We're coming down into yin, so you can let the breathing in through the nose and out through the nose filter away. Maybe elongating through the exhalation to bring some calm back in towards the body. In turn through to the mind. Notice or follow the breath as it comes into the body, as it expands, how the body contracts and the breath leaves. Again, we come back to this feeling of gravity. That's all we're ever fighting with in our yoga practice or day-to-day life. Surrendering to it just now, allowing the weight of the body to sink down or fall towards the earth. A couple more breaths here. And then we're going to slowly bring the hands back towards the body, lifting ourselves up bit by bit. So if we come towards a kneeling position. He's a little bit hot. Sorry. I don't know how I ever thought I was going to fit in some core work tonight. So we're going to come to a saddle pose. So you might wish to have a little blanket or maybe a little block just to go between your legs. You're going to keep your toes, take your toes apart and see if you can allow your bum to come down towards the floor, sitting in between. So pop a block underneath your bum if it's not going to fall, or a rolled up blanket. If you really is uncomfortable for you to do that, keep the feet a little closer and just sit into the heels. But we're going to be here for about 3 minutes if possible. So we worked a little bit to work into the muscles at the front at the start. See if you can lean back in towards your saddle, letting the feet release or relax. If leaning back here is quite comfortable for you, you might be able to take your forearms down. You can just kind of hold here. You can take it further if it's in your practice to do so. I'm not going to. If you do take it down onto your forearms, you can always put a block behind your head and let your head lean onto the block. It takes some of the pressure off. It's strangely quite soothing. I'm going to stay a bit higher. The arms are long, the weight of the body just kind of stacks through the bones. And we're just releasing into the floor here. We're really tapping into the liver, gallbladder, urinary bladder, and kidney lines. So your yin to yang energies of the systems of traditional Chinese medicine. So I chose some of the postures that would really tap into the winter yin energy, which is ultimately restoring our qi, our life essence. Our kidneys are said to store, or are the batteries of our lives. One is filled with the energy passed down through your family. The other can be topped up by doing good things, or it can be depleted by overusing the energy. But your family energy is finite, and when it's gone, it's gone. It can't be topped up in the same way. It's said to be the life force of the generations of family that have come before you and will come after you. We're not here for too much longer, but with every exhalation, just switching off bits and pieces of tension that might be holding, especially around the hips, ankles, toes, and knees. If you've gone down onto your forearms, just starting to think about how you're going to slowly come out. Maybe you want to roll to your side if you don't want to come up, if you've gone down quite low. Otherwise, we're then slowly walking the hands back towards the body, bringing ourselves back up a little taller. Taking a breath there, we're going to take a little twist. So I'm going to look over my left thigh. So I'm going to take my right hand to my left knee and just maybe taking my other hand onto the shin, sitting up tall, taking a gentle twist. Breathing here, so just feeling long through the spine. As you exhale, come back to center. Inhaling here. Exhale, taking the twist to the opposite side. So it's just gentle, it's just our counter pose. And again, exhaling back into center. And we're going to work our way down onto our bellies. So bringing yourself there as best as you can. I find it best to come up to all fours. Take the knees back together. Wiggle into my bum usually, or into the hips and the heels. And then just bring myself down. I sometimes like to have a blanket just underneath my pelvis. Just gets a bit uncomfortable on the floor, but we're going to take ourselves. I'll just reposition my mat slightly. Squint. I can't deal with that. So coming down onto the belly, we're going to come to broken wing and open wing. So we're going to do both sides on broken wing, and then we'll do open wing. So it's almost like we're coming towards Sphinx pose, letting the feet go nice and relaxed behind. I'm going to start by taking my left hand underneath my right. So I'm just going to push down into the right hand, lift the right arm up, reach the left hand under. It's like we're doing thread the needle. The palm can face up towards the sky, or it can be on its side, but we're going to reach through Not so much that the whole body wants to fall backwards towards the other side. We want to make sure that we're looking down with the weight of our body pushing down into the tricep and the deltoid shoulder. Bring the right hand as if you're kind of taking it the opposite way in front of the forehead, so that you can allow your forehead to come down onto the forearm. It means if you've got a longer nose like I do, it doesn't get squashed into the floor. So you want the weight of your body falling directly down into the mat. So the weight of your body pushes down into this left arm, particularly through the bicep, tricep, in towards the shoulders. It'll round through towards the scapula at the back, rhomboids. Trapeze, I think, is the other one that it starts to work into. And again, we're just letting gravity. So unlike thread the needle, where we want to reach it really far, and we kind of twist our body as if the back of the body goes the opposite way, we want to make sure we're falling towards the earth here. Now, exhalation breath, we come back to gravity. It's the weight of your own body with every breath out that sinks into and works into the deeper yin tissues. And as we get ready to come out, we lift the forehead off the forearm at the front. Push down into that forearm. See if you can slowly and gently pull that left arm out. Take the hand to cactus, bringing your head back onto the forearm. And just letting that left arm sit in a kind of cactus position. Move to the other side. So coming back towards that Sphinx position. This time pushing down into the left hand, lifting that left arm up, allowing you to reach the right hand under so that the whole of the chest is kind of squared, falling towards the mat or the earth. Bringing that left hand in front of the body so the forearm becomes a pillow for your forehead. And again, just allowing gravity and the weight of your body to sink, melt, fall over this arm. If your knees get sore here, you can bring the heels in like a mermaid. Bring the knees out a little wider, bringing the feet in above the bum. It sometimes relieves some of the pressure on the patella, the kneecap. And it also works into a small back extension. I do it more for comfort though. If you did happen to get pins and needles, just bringing the arm out a little just means we're pinching or stopping blood flow or nerve movement. then again, getting ready to move. So lifting the forehead up first. Taking a breath in here, then pushing into that arm, lifting the chest a little, enough to bring the arm out, making a cactus, bringing the head back down. It just kind of encourages the front of the shoulder, a little bit of the collarbone to kind of fall towards the earth. I've started doing these every 2 or 3 days, especially when I've spent a lot of time on the computer, or even if I'm just doing a little bit too much yoga, too many asana. This is quite a nice one for relieving downward dog strain on the shoulders. And then we're going to kind of come back towards Sphinx pose just for a moment, just so I can show you the next one. I'm going to start with my right hand, but we're going to come to open wing this time. So I'll show you with the right. You let the right arm reach out, so the whole front of the shoulder comes down onto the mat. Turn your head to look in the opposite direction, letting the cheek come down. Twist through the body slightly so that you're on the right hip for me this time, with a bend in the knee. Pushing into the left hand, maybe rising up with the left knee so that it's almost like you're pushing your body towards the right, a bit like what we would do if we were pushing down into the threading the needle. Your knee can be higher, the knee can stay low if you don't want that much pressure into the shoulder. But with the knee up, it encourages the whole body to kind of twist. And we hold here. So if I show you on the other side, just in case you're not sure, this is what it kind of looks like on the other side when you're pushing the body away into that arm. If you have any pain in that arm that's reaching away, just lessen off pushing into it. Try not to hold any tension there, really helps as well. Don't hold this one for as long. And I do it with the arm straight, but there are options where you can bend in the elbow. But I find that a little bit too intense. This is a much nicer introduction. And the head can stay heavy, touching down into the ground, so we're not putting any pressure into the neck. And the only tension is really just the arm that's holding the front body up a little. And we slowly let the knee that's high come down. Stop pushing into that arm and just let yourself come down. Without pushing anything back, just holding here. The counter poses in yin are sometimes nothing at all. It's about not moving. And we're just letting the energies of the yin tissues settle. We're going to work to the other side. So bring yourself back onto your belly. This time reaching the opposite arm out. Taking the head of the face down. Then twisting through at the hip so you come onto the opposite hip or knee side. And then pushing the body back. Maybe lifting the knee up if you want to encourage more of the body to twist. Don't expect to get the knee high, especially if this is the first time you've done this. It takes a bit to work into that shoulder. You can always just let the knee fall and push with the hand if you need to. Just coming back to the breath. And back to the awareness of the subtlety of the breath. And then as you exhale, letting the knee come down. Rolling back onto the belly. Or just letting the hand come down, actually staying on your side. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll onto our backs. I'm going to take us probably about 5 minutes over just because I waffled at the start. But we're going to do one more little pose for about a minute on either side before we come to Shavasana. So if you do need to head off, you can come straight to your Shavasana now. But with the knees high, as if we're doing a static back press, I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to take it to the back of the head, so it's almost like a pillow, or even to the back of the neck, letting the elbow fall to the floor. So it's a bit like the cow face pose that we do to work into the shoulders. So at the back of the neck, it means it doesn't become a pillow for your hand. And depending on the shape of your hand, it can, or shape the back of your head. So let it come to the back of the neck where there's a little bit of space, let the elbow fall to the floor. Take the opposite hand with the palm facing down into the mat, either to the lower back or sneak it up towards the mid back if you've got the ability to do so. And again, see if you can just let the elbow come to the floor. So it's almost like the weight of your back pushes into the hand. We're just going to be here. Left hand at the top. If you feel like it's doing nothing, you can reach it down in between the shoulder blades. But you then have to make a pillow out of the creak in your arm, which I find a bit uncomfortable for me. But you can, if you want to intensify it, almost reach as if you're reaching the hands together at the back of the body. They're unlikely to touch, but it will work quite strongly into the yin tissues around the shoulders, the spine and the elbows. Otherwise, maybe just joining me with a gentle release. Slowly allowing the whole of the spine to let go of the tension and just melt over the hands. For 2. And 1. Bringing the lower hand out first. You might need to move over to the side, allowing the hand to come out. Just leaving it at the side of the body. Taking the top hand up, taking it towards how we started our practice in our static back press. And then I'm going to take the right hand up, let the elbow point out, take the hand to the back of the neck or back of the head, or down towards the middle of the shoulders. Try and let the elbow release and relax. And then with the palm facing down with the opposite hand, bringing it towards the lower back or up towards the middle of the back. Again, reaching for the more achievable pose first before you take it or take that top hand too far down. Taking that bottom hand out first, letting it come towards the side body, then taking the top out. And then bring yourself down to your Shavasana. Make yourself cozy if you need to. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. And the ultimate yin pose. Just a short Shavasana tonight, so maybe expanding into the breath. Letting that exhalation breath reach down to the toes and the fingers. Maybe some small movements. And then introducing some movements that feel good for you. Knees into chest or extended out. Just slowly reawakening. It's funny how we can get so comfortable after a yoga practice, lying on a hard floor with nothing but our mats. We can find comfort, yet we can go to bed early and lie there for hours unable to find the same comfort. And then bring yourself, when you're ready, in your own way up towards a seat. Take your time, no rush to get there. You can keep the eyes closed if you like as well. Bring yourself to your seat. We're going to close the practice with the sound of Om. So tapping into the energies of the divine, the sound from the start of time, from the beginning of the universe. Maybe taking your hands into prayer, or maybe even opening your hands over your heart space. Taking a breath down and towards the belly. And let that vibration wash over you, giving you gratitude for coming to the practice tonight, taking the time out. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to click